My dear comrades, it is now time to vote for the 13th Kelitá, and after a term in office, I would just like to highlight my own personal successes in hopes that you will give me a mandate strong enough to become your premier this time. Yes, I said it right here, I am gunning for the premiership, so please listen carefully and make sure that you vote for the right people. When I was first elected, I set out 5 goals for my term in office. Firstly, I set out for judicial reforms. Secondly, to combat the entrenched bureaucracy. Thirdly, to reform the Commissariat of Culture. Fourth, to ensure professionalism in the Kelitá. And fifth, to hold the government accountable. Now, when it comes to judicial reforms, I have proposed a procedural reform bill as to start our process of seeking these reforms, which I hope will be sought after more in the next Kelitá. However, we did begin the process technically through the first big beautiful bill, which unfortunately will be the last. The fight against the entrenched bureaucracy has been showcased through the revised Premier Term Limit Act and its predecessor, the Premier Term Limit Act, which it was preceded by another few Premier Term Limit Acts. While the RPTLA did in fact fail, I think we made good progress by putting this issue back in the spotlight, and I seek to continue pursuing the introduction of term limits on the Premier even through the next Kelitá, so long as we eventually implement them, as I think it is one of the most important safeguards for our democracy. When it comes to reforming the Commissariat of Culture, I have recently been appointed the government advisor for knowledge on culture and media, and this should showcase to you that I am indeed still seeking these reforms. I originally intended to merge both the ComInfo and ComCul, however, the fact that we now have both incredible commissars in both commissariats has shown that both can exist separately, and all that's needed is reform. Now, the topic of Kelitá professionalism is admittedly the only one I've made very literally zero progress on, and I intend to do that if I am to become premier. I think the premier is a good example to the rest of the Kelitá, a first among equals, and thus a professional premier can encourage the rest of the Kelitá more effectively than a law could. And when it comes to holding the government accountable, the Kelitá is soon to vote, as of recording this video, on my Executive Transparency Act, which will open up commissar reports, something which has thus far been only open to the Kelitá itself, to the public. Like this, you will see the government update you every 2 weeks on its progress, every member of the government in every section. Like this, you can see and judge the government's activity and progress. With all of this, I think it is safe to say that I'm doing good on delivering on my promises, and I hope that you can see that too. And thus, I also hope that you will give me a strong mandate, as I requested at the beginning of this video. I seek to become the premier not just for power purposes, but also to limit the position, set a precedent of professionalism, and limiting of powers. Additionally, I promise to give you constant updates like this and to be an active premier. Thank you for watching. Vote Valerie Ronango'O for a better and greater Kelitá.